During WWE's Attitude Era, fans witnessed the rise of the McMahon-Helmsley era. In the scripted storyline, Triple H was portrayed as having drugged and secretly married Stephanie McMahon, the daughter of Mr. McMahon, before she eventually aligned with him to form a dominant faction. In reality, the two developed a genuine relationship, eventually marrying and starting a family. But their seemingly perfect story has a darker side. Prior to his involvement with Stephanie, Triple H was in a relationship with Chyna, and rumors suggest he may have still been with her when he and Stephanie got together. This alleged betrayal deeply hurt Chyna, but to what extent did it influence her departure from WWE at the peak of her career? Triple H and Chyna were a real-life couple. Joanie Laurer made her WWE debut at 26, appearing at ringside to ambush Marlena during Triple H's match against Goldust at In Your House 13 Final Four. She quickly established herself as the menacing, silent enforcer of DX, providing the serious muscle behind a group of pranksters. With her impressive physique and intimidating presence, she was arguably the most formidable member of the faction. That was her on-screen persona. But away from the cameras, Joanie Laurer was a kind and down-to-earth individual who was in a committed relationship with none other than Triple H. Chyna and Triple H began their relationship in 1996, before he became one of the industry's biggest stars. As Triple H climbed the ranks to become one of the Attitude Era's most notorious villains, Chyna also ascended, not only dominating a lackluster women's division, but also competing against male wrestlers, most notably defeating Jeff Jarrett to win the Intercontinental Championship. She was the most popular female wrestler in the world, but just as she reached the height of her career, everything fell apart. Triple H left Chyna and ended up with Stephanie McMahon. And surprisingly, chaos ensued. In one of Raw's most unforgettable moments, the ceremony was interrupted by a video on the Titantron showing Triple H marrying an unconscious Stephanie McMahon at a drive-thru chapel in Las Vegas. Since this was WWE and was in love with Triple H, at first, the relationship between Triple H and Stephanie McMahon was purely for the storyline. But as they spent more time together, it became genuine. By 2000, many suspected this would lead to preferential treatment. And no matter how successful Triple H has been in WWE, some believe his career wouldn't have reached such heights if he hadn't married into the McMahon family. That is what it is, but there was one more complication. At the same time Triple H and Stephanie were growing closer, he was still in a relationship with Chyna. Triple H's infidelity broke Chyna's heart. Throughout much of 2001, Chyna held the WWE Women's Championship before eventually dropping the title to Lita at Judgment Day. A few months later, following a lengthy hiatus, she officially parted ways with WWE. Two key factors led to this outcome. The first was Chyna discovering Triple H's affair with Stephanie McMahon. In a 2015 interview with Opie Radio, she revealed that she had found a love letter from Stephanie to Triple H hidden in his suitcase, written a year earlier. Unsurprisingly, this created significant emotional turmoil and tension, as Chyna still had to work alongside both Triple H and Stephanie. Speaking to the Baltimore Sun in 2002, she reflected on her departure, saying, "I think we just started to grow in different directions, but I have to look at my leaving as a business decision. Otherwise, I'd drive myself insane." That business decision revolved around Chyna's salary demands. According to Jim Ross on his Grilling JR podcast, she wanted to be paid at the level of Stone Cold Steve Austin. WWE refused to meet that figure, and Chyna stood firm. As she later recounted to Opie Radio while out at lunch one day, she received a fax from WWE informing her that they no longer wished to work with her. Although her breakup with Triple H wasn't the direct reason for her departure, since she continued wrestling for another year, it certainly cast a long shadow. With Triple H now involved with Stephanie, Chyna was destined to remain an uncomfortable outsider. One can't help but wonder how contract negotiations might have played out had the affair never happened. Would she have settled for less if she had been content in her personal life? Part of her demands also included wanting opportunities outside of WWE, but if she had still been with Triple H, perhaps she would have opted to stay full-time. Sadly, the answers to those questions will forever remain unknown. After leaving WWE, Chyna's life took a tragic turn. While she initially pursued opportunities in Japan and reality television, her career never reached the same heights. Struggling to find stability, she became entangled in personal and financial troubles, as well as substance abuse issues that plagued her for years. She attempted to make peace with her past. even reaching out to WWE for a possible return. But the company distanced itself from her. Despite her groundbreaking contributions to wrestling, she remained an outsider, with her legacy overshadowed by personal struggles. Sadly, in 2016, Chyna passed away from an accidental overdose, leaving behind a complicated but undeniable impact on the industry. It wasn't until 2019 that WWE finally honored her contributions by inducting her into the Hall of Fame as part of D-Generation X, though many still believe she deserved an individual induction. If things had played out differently, if the affair never happened, if she had stayed in WWE, would Chyna's story have had a happier ending? What do you think? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. See you in the next one!